wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Hoi, guy flies. How are your eyes? Welcome to Joel Marshall's Lunch Therapy. Today is not only Warm Socks Day, but Furry Outfit Day. We will be taking time to look at some furry cows and other furry animals. We will be hitting the Trash Panda Comedy Club to find out all the information we can about furries and plushies. We will find out how old the world's oldest dog is. There will be a soothing rainstorm from Healing Vibrations. And also an ocean rainstorm from Hawaii. The hummingbirds seem to be descending on Hawaii this time of year. I didn't realize hummingbirds migrated for the winter, but apparently these ones do. We will have roving reports from 3 different hummingbirds. Howard Aronin, Just Jay Comedian, and Todd Lee the Magnificent. We'll get some crabs. And some turtles too. So without further ado, let us do this thing we call lunch therapy, Warm Socks Tuesday.
What the heck was that? What is going on here? Welcome everybody. I've got to get my Trash Panda Comedy Club bouncers on this because it seems like the AIs are doing some, I don't know, is that a deep fake? Is it a deep fake? I don't know how much that guy looks like me, but seems to be taking over the show. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. He's got some jokes. He's got some good things. You know, London called this morning, and apparently it is International Clash Day. So get your mismatched clothing, get out there. I don't know. We're going to give you some information about that later on today. Also, we're going to look at Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii today because all the hummingbirds seem to be flocking to Hawaii. And it turns out hummingbirds do migrate, apparently. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Kamala says, I don't want crabs, Joel Bot. We're going to get some crabs. I'm going to get myself some crabs. No, not those kind of crabs. The black crabs, they're called, in Hawaii. Nobody wants crabs like that. I'm frightened. Some people are frightened by that guy. I'm trying to embrace him. Like the real guy. Thanks. Yeah, you know, I don't want to be replaced. That's why I'm making friends with the bots. Crabs are picky. They are picky. Crabs in a barrel. I'm having a bit of anxiety about furries. Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to the Trash Panda Comedy Club. We're going to try and figure out about that because it's pretty important to know. Favorite band, The Clash. I have some information about The Clash Day that I'm going to show later on in the show. Favorite band. Yeah, we grew up on The Clash, right? We had a bottle in our crib full of Clash albums. Woohoo! International Clash Day. Expletive, you fascists. Birds aren't real. So true. So true. Let's get into this thing because there's a lot to be done and we've got to get to it. It's what is this thing called again? Boney? Lunch therapy. That's it. Lunch therapy. Dude, it's weird. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 I think he was around here, isn't this where he was? Like, I think this is by the Moose Lodge where Todd Lee summers, probably. No, winters. I don't know. I can't decide. Right now, Todd is in Hawaii. He's standing by for a roving report. Apparently, there's a crab outbreak in Utah. LDS youth are exploring armpit intercourse. Really? Wow. That sounds good. That sounds like a good one. So yeah, he was here. I don't know where he went. I'm still looking for the Clash flyer that I had all ready to go. Anyway, we got some footage of the guy. He looks like this. I mean, he's a pretty good looking dude, I think. I'm not sure what he's wearing. He is obviously a furry. Obviously, getting excited about the show because we are going to be talking about furries. But first, we are going to breathe. God, that's strange and gross. Armpit intercourse? I think so. Mike Knox says, disturbing, Utah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether any of that's true. Fake news. I can't be responsible. Let's get into some breathing with the healing vibrations coming our way. We're gonna have some rain here in the beginning. Little healing vibrations while we breathe. All right, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Looks like Travis Schumacher got a haircut, or maybe he's got his hair pulled back. I don't know. But he's relieving our stress now. It's Utah. It's got to be true. Got to be. It's To stay balanced, I turn to Aura Health. Apparently it's an app. It's a little ad there for them. In through the nose, out through the toes. I've never tried it. I'm going to have to try it. Hold it. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. That sounds cool. Hold it. Let it go. This is an ad for Aura Health, but you know what? Healing Vibration helps us out so much, and that is a sponsor of theirs, so what the heck? Seems like it might be a good thing. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. It's like floating on a cloud or something. I don't know, does the rain relax you? It totally relaxes me. Maybe because of my city of origin, Edmonton, Washington, where it rained a lot. Probably still does. This is another location in Washington. This is from Guignel. We're looking out the window there at Puget Sound. Enjoy the sounds. Sometimes when I meditate, I try and listen for sounds. That's a really good thing to do. We talk about that. It's true? The armpit sex thing? Wow. It's incredible. I have to check on that. The rain is pissing Guignel off. Maybe you should get to Hawaii with the rest of the hummingbirds. I mean, come on now. What are you doing? Yeah, here in Los Angeles, we've been having a lot of rain lately. But it's nice. Really nice to have. I think rain's better up in Washington, though, because you're ready for it. And also, it doesn't flood everything like it does here. We're just not equipped for it. Who is donating their armpits to this travesty? I hope not the females. I'm confused about the armpit sex in Utah. I mean, something about crabs. I don't know. Rain in LA, chemtrails, I say. Chemtrails. This is the conspiracy theory show where we eliminate conspiracy theories, except for one, which is that birds are not real and they're surveillance drones. At least in the United States, I don't know. Does that include Hawaii? I don't know. So I've got a huge treat for y'all today. We're going to go to Hawaii. We're just going to take off right now. It's a roving reporter extravaganza. We're going to start off with Howard Aronin landing a plane, because he's a pilot, you know, besides being a stand-up comedian. Then we're going to move to where Todd Lee is, which is Kauai. We're going to figure out where Kauai is. Then we're going to cruise on down to the big island of Hawaii, and we're going to see Just Jay. And we're going to see what's going on in all these locations live here on Lunch Therapy. Used to flood. It is now. We'll see that Todd Lee is a religious expert. He's going to be talking about many different religions and philosophies. Howie and Maui. Was he in Maui? I wonder. Bursting out for Hawaii or Mexico or Palm Springs in February is a Pacific Northwest goals thing. See, I got it that time. That time I got the hashtag. I figured it out. Gunnell should file an investigative report. He should. how he's landing the plane. I don't know. Let's find out. Roving reporter time. Jose says, let's not forget about the soaking, marinating, floating done as a sexual loophole by Mormon teens. Wow, we're really learning about the Mormons in Utah. Greg, this background here is from Paulsbo, Washington, looking out on Puget Sound. Beautiful place. Roving reporter. Now we're moving on to Hawaii. All right, we're in Hawaii now. We're moving into Hawaii. First, we're going to see Howard. He's going to land the plane. Let's see how he does it. Oh my God, there he is. Hawaiian Islands descent. So there are the Hawaiian Islands from the plane, where Howard is so dutifully recording this for us, so we can get the sensation of landing in Hawaii. I know. I don't know. I guess they let him fly. Maybe Boney's flying the plane. I don't know, but somebody is. Because I hope it's not Howard, because he's doing the filming. Oh my gosh, now we got rain. Did you know they had rain in Hawaii? Of course they have rain. So Todd Lee gets to Hawaii and is greeted by rain. He was trying to get away from Seattle, trying to get away from the rain. Immediately, he's greeted by an incredible downpour, which sometimes is great because of what it does, at least here in Los Angeles, it clears out the sky. In Hawaii, I'm not sure what it does, but gives everybody a cool drink of water. And then the skies cleared.
Good evening. This is Todd Lee, reporting live for Lunch Therapy. Living the hard life. In Kauai, the oldest island in the Hawaiian chain. Millions of years old. Didn't you know? I didn't.
Oldest
They call it the Garden Island.
The Garden Island, Kauai.
It's in the Eve. Eve? What do they call that? Adam and Eve. Whatever garden that is. Kind of like that. How'd you like to know? Back to you, Joel. Attendant to the reporting. Eden. That's what I was trying to think of. The Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden.
Yeah. There's no snakes here, so and apples don't grow. So I guess it could be Eden. Back to you, Joel.
I'm gonna have to give us a little perspective here. These are the islands of Hawaii, as seen from space. For your information, none of them eatened me in person. All caps, emphatic, all kinds of exclamation points. Garden of Even. Yeah, or Edent, I think he said. I don't think he's a religious scholar. Maybe he needs to crack open a Bible or something. So here it is. The Hawaiian Islands as seen from space. And this is just to give you a little perspective. Just Jay Comedian is on the big island of Hawaii. Actually, she's back in Kansas now. Spoiler alert. But she was on the island. Is she really back? Are you really? No, you can't be back in Kansas. You can't be. She's on the island of Hawaii. And Todd Lee is on the island of Kauai. Sounds a little like Hawaii, and it is in the Hawaiian Islands. So there they are. That's where they are. That's where they're reporting from. Howard, I'm not sure if he was landing on Hawaii. I think he was landing on the island of Hawaii. Maybe he can tell us. But let's see what's happening now is some Hawaii wildlife therapy. God. I thought you said you were in Kansas. That's impossible. You can't be in two places at once. This is, Todd sent us this, and I thought this was a whale. Because it's got a blowhole. But apparently it's just a rock. It's a lot of rocks. And the water comes in and blows out of that hole. So don't be hanging out. Don't be sitting on that hole.
Well, hello. This is Todd Lee, reporting live for Lunch Therapy. In front of me, we got sea turtles, BT, basking in the sun. A little morning snooze. What life? I think I should have a sign that says, "Don't be within 10 feet of me." Sounds relaxing. For now, back to you, Joel.
So yes, those are turtles sleeping on the beach. Did you know that New Zealand has no native mammals except for one kind of bat, I think? Is that a fact, Matt? Has no native mammals except for one kind of bat? I remember some weird statistic like that, but that seems like what? So they brought all the mammals there? There were no mammals? That's too hard for me to believe. I can't even believe it. So the question is, are those turtles, are they okay? Yes, well, let's take a look here and see. I think we can find out the information here because Todd has given us a lot of information here. There's a sign that we can read. There's one of the turtles there. Pretty good. He's, you know, I mean, he's alive. Looks kind of dead, but he's alive. And it says, green turtles are native to Hawaii and can be found in shallow coastal waters of our islands. The turtles commonly come close to shore to feed on seaweed, limu, growing on the bottom. During recent years, green turtles have begun to crawl out on the sand and rocks to bask and rest primarily during the daylight hours. This basking is a natural behavior special to Hawaiian green turtles. There's your facts. There's your facts. Do sea turtles talk like pirates? I think it's talk like the Clash Day today. I mean, that would be weird. There'd be a lot of yelling. I won't simulate it here on the show. They are just fine. They're taking a snooze. Prior to colonization, only bats and marine mammals. Wow. In New Zealand. They ordered the mammals from Amazon. When the colonizers came to New Zealand, their cats ate all the birds. The birds didn't know about mammals. Wow. They just didn't know, so they were just like, hey, look, some new friends, and then chomped. Maybe that's what the robots are going to do to us. The Maori brought the Kuri, Polynesian dog. The marine biologist said they were 35 to 50 years old, these sea turtles. And they brought the rat. Guignel brought the law, but the law won. There's a clash theme. I think our clash theme is clashing with the sea turtles. How do the sea turtles survive before all these signs? It's a good question. It's a good question. All right, now we're moving on to see some more wildlife in Hawaii. Here's Jay.
Black crab.
Black crab.
Now, they're not doing anything right now. Oh, there.
Black crab doing nothing.
Can you see him moving? Oh! Ah! Okay, so I want them to come closer to me because they look like they have 10 legs. Most crabs only have 8, and these have 10 legs. Now, look at these. Now look over here. Ah! So look here. There's a big one right there. Come on. Can you see him? I hope you can see these black crabs. This one's coming to get me. Oh. Can you see him? I really need a close-up. But he's a good size look. You still wouldn't want to eat him.
Wow. So, okay. Those are black crabs. Apparently, crabs do have 10 legs, just so you know. That's kind of a thing. I think it's spiders who have 8 legs. Jack Sparrow escaped from a deserted island on sea turtles, lashed himself to them with his back hair. I want to hear that story sometime. We did some interviews before a New Zealand tour, and I mentioned this no mammals thing to an interviewer, and he said, "You should be pretty popular there then." That's fun. That's fun. Playing in Utah at the armpit spot. Hell of a thing to have in your armpit. Decapeds. Yes, they are decapeds. That means they have 10 legs. Let Just Jay talk here for a moment.
This is for lunch therapy.
Lunch therapy.
And the hummingbird.
I don't know why she's talking in slow motion.
Look at the light above those clouds. I can't believe it. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Thank you, Kona.
All right, so I got a special treat for you. Just Jay also saw turtles just this morning, so it's a live report from Hawaii. More sea turtles.
This is the only place in the world where the turtles come and sleep on the beach. They eat the algae, and then what else?
They eat algae.
They eat algae, they come up here, and then they'll just sleep on the beach, and they're the only turtle in the world that does that.
In the Hawaiian Islands.
In the Hawaiian
They
Islands.
don't do it anywhere else in the world.
Nowhere else in the world do they do this. Isn't he beautiful?
Oh, I think he moved.
Giving you a zoom in.
Oh my gosh, there we
Thank
go.
you.
Proof that they are living creatures. Wow. That was something else. They want belly rubs. Do they want belly rubs, crabs? How cool she calls for them and they run over. I know, those little crabs. They love Just Jay. They're just crazy about her. The king crab has 6 walking legs and 2 claws, so 8. Once again, I'm proved wrong. Are those the crabs from Utah? I hope not. I hope not, because they're pretty vicious to have in the armpits. Pretty vicious looking. You think that the sea turtle looks like a robot? No, robots, they look different. We had one at the beginning of the show. We're going to have to learn to spot the robots, the artificial intelligence. We're going to have to learn to spot the AI, the deep fakes. That's one of the things we're doing on the show is we're learning how to spot deep fakes. Todd is just loving the sunset. Like the guy that saw a double rainbow. I love the guy that saw a double rainbow. I wish I could play that right now. We're going to have to play that again sometime. I almost got banned from YouTube for playing that, so we don't want to do that. Howard is flying back to Kona, the big island, tomorrow. Oh my God. Get some more footage. So, all right. There's a few more pictures I want to show you. And then we're going to hit the Trash Panda Comedy Club. There's the turtle. Now look at that. Is this a picture that you took, Todd? Because this is crazy. This is crazy. It's amazing what's there in Hawaii that I'm missing. Nuts. Let's see what else is here. Some lichen on a rock. I'm really liking that rock. I don't know about y'all, but Hawaii's really liking that rock too, right? This, I wouldn't think this was Hawaii because it's just it's like too big. I think of Hawaii as like a small place, but this is gigantic, like I'm in Wyoming or someplace. Expansive. Waterfalls. The only time we'll be able to spot AIs is when they want us to spot AI. Wow. Bear crabs have massive beards. This is, oh, that's Waimea Canyon. I want to go to there. Seems beautiful. I'll look for Just Jay in her Chiefs hat. Go Chiefs. Howard, come to see me in Kona. I'll show you a good time. There's a promise. I want to publicly say Mike Knox is a great person. It's so true. Mike Knox, he's been on the show before. Love having him here. I agree. Why not? Parts of Jurassic Park were filmed there and in Kona Coast. That would be fun. Like a lonely AI. Let's see what else we got. That's a waterfall. Oh, a boar's head on the wall. There's Just Jay doing her Hawaii thing. Big Island is the size of Connecticut. Connecticut. Wow. I'm really liking that rock. Needs to go in the future punchlines folder, for sure. Howard is a better person, says Mike. I have a nice armpit. Yes. We love armpits around here. There's the crab upside down. And there's a weasel. This is a bonus weasel. I guess Just Jay saw a couple of weasels while she was there. All right, this has been our trip to Hawaii, our little mini vacation. We're going to be moving on to the Trash Panda Comedy Club, where we're going to be talking about furries next. So I hope that you'll all join me in the Trash Panda Comedy Club. Let's get on with this. Oh, it's a mongoose. Mongoose, weasel. I believe weasels are mongooses. Are mongooses weasels? We're going to have to figure it out. Don't know. Waxed. I worked with a guy named Armpit. You did not. You did not work with a guy named Armpit. Hold on. Aristocrabs. Marmot? No, a marmot is a... I don't know what a marmot is. A marmot is a groundhog. Groundhog is a marmot, right? Love Hawaii. Let's say goodbye to Hawaii. We're moving on to the Trash Panda Comedy Club. I hear Joel Marshall is headlining in there. All right, thank you, everybody. Trash Panda Comedy Club. Yeah, you know, I'm honored to be here. I've been playing the Trash Panda Comedy Club for, I don't know, like since it opened in 2020. It is a, I don't know, I'm starting to wonder, is this a furry club? Is this a club for furries? Any furries out there? So I've been wondering these days because Just Jay Comedian recently, one of our viewers, one of our roving reporters, she just mentioned to me that there was a furry convention coming into town. And I was like, what's a furry convention? Is that like a plushie? Is a plushie a furry? And I looked up furries and I looked up plushies. And apparently furries are people that like to dress up like furry animals and then do human behaviors. I guess that's the stipulation. Whereas plushies like to dress up like stuffed animals. So that's the distinction from what I understand. I don't know. I have totally divorced myself from the furry community. Did not realize. Here's, in fact, people often make fun of furries. Here's a little clip from MSNBC.
The Chicago Tribune, 19 people were hospitalized at a furry convention in Illinois after what's being called an intentional leak of chlorine
What's
gas.
a furry convention?
Did I get that wrong?
Leaked there. Oh, gosh.
Okay. Officials were called when
This is from a while ago.
It is.
I don't know when.
What? Spread.
But you'll see their reaction to the furries.
I think they had to evacuate the building and everything. Sent the hotel guests along with convention
They're, like,
attendees into
losing
the
it.
cold night. Many still dressed in their furry costumes.
She's losing it.
We have a lot of costumers out here with big fluffy costumes that'll keep people warm, so at this point, we're not at all worried.
So we've been pulling people into a cuddle to like warm this baby.
No. Thank
I
you.
like these
Thank
people.
you.
And
I gotta
giving
tell
her
you.
jackets.
I
Thank
like
you.
the furries.
Yes.
We just told Mika what the convention was about. She's.
Costumes kept everybody warm was the good news. The hotel was
Where you going?
contaminated.
Like,
hey,
Guests came back
come
inside
back.
at 4 a.m. Police still
Come back.
So I don't know. I mean, that's a clip from MSNBC. You can see how people react to the furries. I'm wondering, but you know what? The more and more I think about it, I wonder, am I a furry? You know, when I was a little kid, I really enjoyed the at the Bon Marché. We'd go to see Santa Claus during Christmas time, and there would be a Grinch there, somebody dressed in a Grinch costume, and I was just obsessed with this Grinch person. I mean, screw the Santa Claus, the Grinch thing. I just kept following him around, looking in his eyes, trying to figure out if he was real. Kept going back to my mom. Is he real? Is he real? Is he real? I think he's real. And when I was, super small, my dad sat me down on his knee and said, I'm going to teach you the secret to life. He said, you've got to find one thing that you want to be and just be that. And I immediately said, Tweety Bird. I mean, I was only like 4, so I didn't realize there were a lot more choices. But he said, you got to be that one thing. So I just was that one thing. I got myself a furry Tweety Bird costume, all yellow, just like a onesie and a plastic, mask, Tweety Bird mask that I got at Stewart's drugstore. And I wore that thing every single day for years. Wasn't until I was in high school that I guess my brother got sick of it. I woke up in the morning to put on my furry costume, and it was gone. I think my brother got sick of me following him around. He was just, one grade ahead of me, and there I was in my furry costume. I'm sure Matt Wright didn't appreciate it either. So, but I realized at that moment that I didn't need the costume anymore because I could be furry on the inside. I could be Tweety Bird on the inside. And I don't know, does that make me a furry? Screw Santa. Screw Santa. Santa never got me that horse that I wanted. Did you say screw Santa Claus? A good furry outfit will set you back about $5,000. People in the furdom will definitely take it seriously and spend that money. I'll tell you, my furry career did not stop there, though. I realize now, when I was in grad school learning how to be an actor out there in Santa Clarita, I got a job in the only place that I could get a job, which was Magic Mountain. And my job was to take surveys in front of Magic Mountain, which you don't want to do. You don't want to stop people as they're going in and ask them how much money they make. It was a horrible job. But then suddenly my eyes set upon something that I did not know existed. It was a man dressed in a furry costume, and that furry costume was known as Bugs Bunny. And I instantly knew this was my calling. I don't know how I got the job, but within days, I was auditioning. They had me with the head on and the furry gloves, and I was doing. I mean, I was a natural. I was a natural at Bugs Bunny. I rose to costume character fame. I was the Bugs Bunny. I was the costume character of the year. And not only did I play Bugs Bunny, but I also played Wile E. Coyote, which is a completely different role. Both of them equally famous. One hugely popular. Bugs Bunny, when I was Bugs Bunny, people would come right at me. Men, women, they'd come right over to me like I was a huge superstar and just grab my crotch. Yeah, they did that a lot. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I was popular. I learned what it was to be famous. I learned the trappings of fame as well. There was all the drug use and the orgies and the inflated ego that goes along with that. I learned early on about that. I also learned what it was like to be infamous because I was Wile E. Coyote. People see Wile E. Coyote and they just think indestructible. And because he's indestructible, they think, I'm going to try and destroy him. So a lot of times you'd be kicked, tail pulled, people bashing your nose. I learned how to defend myself by kicking them with the huge furry wooden feet. I did a lot of kicking. But you know, it was the greatest job I've ever had. I'll say it right now. It was the best job I have ever had in my entire life. I would completely trade the job that I have right now for this job if it paid anything. I think I got paid I think it was below minimum wage, and I did commercials, and I did guest spots, and I did all kinds of things, and I got paid nothing. But you know what? I would have done it for free. Don't tell them. And while I was on the job, I was inspired because I met another dreamer like myself who was a career furry. His name was Larry. And you know, God plays funny jokes with us humans. He will give you a desire that you have that is so strong that you can do nothing else. And then God will put huge obstacles in your way just for fun, because it's not fun otherwise. So I met this guy, Larry, and his whole goal was to be a professional furry. And a professional furry they call a costume character, right? So he was living the dream, but it's weird because he was not made for it. You know, most furries are like shorter. He was like 6'4". And at Magic Mountain, you had to be about 5'10", maybe 5'11" to put on the Bugs Bunny costume. But he did it anyway, and he'd have to crouch over in it the entire time. And he played the taller character a lot, which was Sylvester. You'd think I would have been good as Sylvester because I am Tweety Bird, and then I'd be in Sylvester, and that'd be like Sylvester's dream to have Tweety Bird inside of him. Take that however you want. But no, Larry was the greatest. Larry was the greatest Sylvester that ever lived, in spite of the fact that he had a strange odor. He smoked a lot of filterless Camel cigarettes, and I think it made him have a very interesting body odor that was similar to cat litter. And he was an Olympic sweater. And when I say Olympic sweater, I don't mean like a sweater that you wear to the Winter Olympics. I mean, if there was an event in the Olympics for sweating, he would be the #1 gold medal contender year after year because he could just sweat like it was raining in Kauai. Just pouring down sweat, so much so that he would sweat through the Sylvester costume. The kids would come running up to Sylvester. They'd be like, "Hi, Sylvester." And he'd go to shake their hands, and they'd get salty, sweaty, water in their eyes. "It burns! It burns! Mommy, it burns!" But Larry, nothing would get in Larry's way. And his main goal was to be the ultimate costume character, which is, of course, a mascot. He would have a binder of laminated photos of different mascots all over the world with signatures. "Hang loose, Larry. Keep it up, Larry. That was fun last night, Larry. I love you, Larry." Just page after page after page. I remember one in particular was like a bumblebee, and it was, this guy was like a mascot. He was jumping off a trampoline. He was doing a flip in the air about to dunk a basketball. And I thought, Larry will never do that. See, I didn't have faith in Larry, but Larry had faith in himself. He was not a gymnast. He was not a dancer. "Mommy, it burns." It's horrific. But I didn't know. Was he ever going to be a mascot? Is he ever? One day he's sitting there with the Bugs Bunny or the Sylvester suit, I guess, rolled up down around his legs, around his knees. And he's smoking one of those bare-ass Camel cigarettes. And I said, Larry, you're different somehow today. What's going on? You seem excited. I got an audition. You got an audition? Yeah, I got an audition. It's a prestige job. I was like, what is it? I'm going to be a mascot. I was like, wow, you're going to be a mascot? Oh my God, that's so exciting. Where? And he said, the Mighty Ducks. They're calling me in for an audition to be a mascot. And I was like, the Mighty Ducks, isn't that like, isn't that a hockey team? Yep. Well, can you skate? Because I think that mascot skates. No, but I'll give it my best shot. A couple days later, I see Larry. I'm like, hey, how did the audition go? And he said, well, they put me in the duck costume and I looked great. I looked great. I had to crouch down a little bit. I had the skates. And I got out there and they had an entire grandstand full of kids just cheering for me. And I got out there and I took one skate, took another skate. I was doing fine. I was doing really well. And I waved to the kids and suddenly my skate slipped out from under me and I landed bill first on the ice. I said, wow, that must have been embarrassing. He's like, not as embarrassing as when my head popped off. Duck head popped off. Stadium full of horrified children as the duck's head pops off and skids along the ice. And then he gets up, 6'4" of him, his little head in the big furry costume. They had to bring in therapists, apparently. There's a lot of kids still scarred by that. There's still kids probably adults in therapy right now dealing with Larry's audition. But you know what? You got to hand it to him because he went for it. And that's what we encourage here on this show is people that go for it. People that if they hear that there's turtles on the beach, they get down there and they take the pictures of the turtles. They do their roving reporters. They go out and they do their stand-up. They go out and they make a movie, even if they never made a movie before. That's what the Trash Panda Comedy Club is all about. Let's see there's a lot of comments here. This has been the Trash Panda Comedy Club. A little inspiration there for you. Furries. Furries, furries, furries. So this is my tribute to furries out there because I relate. I'm a hummingbird as well as a furry. Funny part is somewhere down the road, someone decided to use yiffing as a way to make furries look like pervs in animal outfits. I gotta admit, I did see a video on the internet that was a great music video with really colorful furries, but then they were doing weird sexual things. But you know, people are weird, especially in music videos. Your prom day didn't think so either. When I was wearing the costume, the Tweety Bird costume, the kids on the Wild Things where the Wild Things are is a furry. Take those broken wings and learn to fly again. Love that. Remember the sharks in the Super Bowl? What was it? Left shark? You are a furry if you believe you are a furry. You don't even need the costume. Hey there, everybody. I'm a furry. Furry for a day, at least, huh? Pretty fun. That was fun. Gotta admit. Gotta get that guy on the show sometime. He's not an AI. Part-time furry. Wait a minute. All right, we gotta go. Who wants to come with me undercover at the Furry Convention July 21st? I do. That sounds awesome. That would be fun. How hot did it get in Valencia? You know, sometimes it got to be 105 degrees. And we'd do half-hour sets, half hour on, half hour off. And when it got to be 105 degrees, it would shorten down to like 15 minutes because you'd start to pass out, especially if you're dancing around in a furry costume. Let's go, Just Jay. Let's bring it on. You know, the thing about Larry, too, is he not only did the Sylvester, but he also moonlighted as a rabbit in a bar where he'd sit at the end of the bar and just drink beers as a rabbit. And one day I was out at his car and he opened up the trunk and he had his own raccoon suit. And I was like, wow, you have your own suit? And he said, yeah, just in case. Just in case. Let's go, Just Jay. Crotch grabbing. You gotta watch out for the crotch grabbing when you're a furry. In the crab armpits. Fucking Santa. Do they touch your armpits? Of course. You're kind of out there if you're, if you're in a furry costume. Can't see very well. I almost fell off the end of a stage one time. Do I have to point out that Tweety doesn't have fur? Yeah, my Tweety did. The only guy I thought was innocent in prison caught his case at Magic Mountain. The only guy I thought was innocent in prison caught his case at Magic Mountain. Please say you tell your Bugs Bunny experience on stage. I would love to, if anyone would, enjoy it. Yeah, I'm doing it now, right, in the It's hard for me to say Trash Panda Comedy Club. I'm not sure why. If Sylvester ever catches Tweety Bird, the story ends. We need them to be in constant conflict to keep the wheel of life turning. That's why we need obstacles in life as well. Obstacles in life are just there for us to have more fun, more enjoyability, more... Do cats sweat? That one did. Mommy, it burns. Anyway, let's get on with it. What is yiffing? Daniel Tiger. I have a Daniel Tiger puppet in the other room. I love Daniel Tiger. That might be my inspiration, really. Last furry hangout I went to, we sat down and played video games, watched anime, had a barbecue, and geeked out on comic book talk. Sounds like a good time. Birds aren't furry. Birds aren't real or real furry. Rabbit walks into a bar. All right, let's move on. We got breaking news. All right, so we got some breaking news before we get on with the dance break. Just real quick, we got, gotta make sure that we get the breaking news in there because we gotta feel like you learned something. And so let's see what we got for the breaking news. Breaking news, we got the world's oldest dog has now been discovered. His name is Bobby. That's Bobby right there in front of, these are all the sticks that he retrieved during his 30-year lifetime. He's like, is this enough already? Can we just stop with the stick thing? I don't know why you plague me with this. Perhaps that's what we'll do for the AIs someday, is we'll get sticks for them. We better start learning how to retrieve those sticks. Overlords love that. When they this is like another thing they found out when they found the oldest dog, Bobby, is that apparently if you want to live a long life, you have to lick a lot of cats. He was just licking cats like crazy. Who is Bobby? This is his plaque that he got. And Bobby is the oldest living dog. He's 30 years and 268 days, so sort of almost 31 years old. Lives in Conqueiros in western Portugal. He's believed to be the oldest dog. The previous oldest dog was 23 years old, and they were like, come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby, tell him. Get out there. Get out there and tell him. You're much older than that. When he was a little pup, they almost killed him because the family where the dog had its litter. Sometimes they had to kill animals because they were like, I can't afford to feed all these animals. And they were going to put that one down, but they missed him. And the kids, they made sure he lived. And now he's the oldest dog. So there you go. There's the world's oldest dog. Apparently the core of the Earth, this is the other breaking news, core of the Earth stopped spinning and perhaps was going to spin backwards. And I was all worried about this when I heard this, and it was definite clickbait. I clicked on it. I was like, oh my God, I got to find out. Turns out, doesn't matter. It happens like every 70 years that the thing, doesn't spin quite the same as the rest of the Earth, and it's the core, and nobody really knows about it. And who says it's even real, right? This is just all we have to go on is a picture like this. I haven't noticed. Jose's been rocking his, lunch therapy t-shirt all day. Cat licking is a key part of the Mediterranean diet. I try to lick cats all the time, but you get so much fur on your tongue, as Steve Martin once said. The new fountain of youth. Lick a cat. All right, so there's the core of the Earth. And one more thing. Remember in the 80s when we used all that hairspray and we just about ruined the ozone layer? Well, good news. Someone had to say it, right? Someone had to say it. Guignol, you did it. Inner core isn't real. So remember the ozone layer? How we were so worried about that, which is a very legitimate worry because the ozone layer is like the UV protection for us humans. So what they're saying now is that because we got rid of our fluorocarbons and did all these things back in the 80s, and up until now, the ozone layer will be fully recovered by 2066. If we keep going this way, we're going to get our ozone layer back. I guess we forgot about all this with all the horrible crap going on in the world. Nobody seems to have reported it, but you're hearing it here on Lunch Therapy. 35 years after every nation in the world agreed to stop producing chemicals that destroy this ozone layer, we now seem to be fixing it. So there you go. That's breaking news. Lunch Therapy. There's geological proof of the polar shift. How do they figure out the core, whether it's spinning in a different direction? I'll tell you. It's through earthquakes, seismic movements. They can track how the sound moves through the earth, and that's how they can see how this thing's spinning. Genial. Ha. Cut out the Aquanet. World saved. There might be more things we could do like that. Just keep looking for them. All right, it's time for a dance break. And I appreciate everybody being here today. I hugely appreciate all the roving reporters from Howard, from Just Jay, from Todd Lee. I feel much better now. I feel like I went to Hawaii and I have something to look forward to. Possible furry convention in the future. Dance break time. It seems like a weird name for a song, Flesh Failures. But you've definitely heard this song. These are some real hardcore hair enthusiasts. And I don't mean the kind that use Aquanet either. I mean the kind that let it fly free. Let their hair fly free. Like the furries. Thodoros Trifonas. He's like a 60s, 70s god. Now he's like Father Time.
A movie, paper, fantasy. Listening for the new told lies. With supreme visions of longitude.
inside something there is a rush of greatness. Who knows what stands in front?
As they say, wait for it.
Our lives are fashioned, my future, all fields in space. Silence tells me secretly everything, everything.
Manchester, England, England. Manchester, England, England. Across the Atlantic seas. And I'm a genius, genius. I believe in God. And I believe that God believes in God. That's me. That's me.
Here we go.
That's me.
Definitely clear. Armpit hair, I think, was the theme. Armpit hair. Sex.
Walking proudly now winter coats, wearing smells from laboratories, facing a dying nation. A moving paper fantasy, listening for the new Todd lies, with supreme visions of lonely truths. Singing